Hey guys, Bellatrix here, and thank you for joining me for yet another speed build. So this one is the modern beachfront. It was built on a 30 by 20 lot. It comes out to 159,000. Nope. Okay. Apparently I can never talk when I make these videos. I don't know what that's about. I'm sorry. Alright, so it came out to 159,109 simoleons. There we go. It's a 1 bedroom, 3 bathroom. So, yeah, it's, an excessive amount of bathrooms for a 1 bedroom. But as you'll see, especially when I do the layout of the interior, it is a very big house and it does have room to have a total of 3 bedrooms as opposed to just one. I just decided to make it a 1 bedroom because, realistically, there are people out there who don't actually want to have kids and people who don't have kids. So, in my head, this house was built for one of those couples, or maybe they're just a young couple, they're not ready for kids, and they just have all this money from making good career choices or something. And they just live in a huge house and they just haven't had kids yet, so they just fill up the house with whatever they want. Take your pick of the storyline, or just, completely edit the house and get more bedrooms in there. Anyways, so this house is actually a recreation of a house I built a while ago before I started this channel. I've been going through a bunch of screenshots I took of houses that I previously built, and I've been going through them and I've been like, oh, this one's actually really nice. I'm going to try and rebuild it from these screenshots. So whenever there's like a slight pause, it's because I'm looking at the picture, at the screenshots for, as a reference and guidelines. It's not exactly the same. The outside is incredibly similar, but I never actually had finished the previous house. The front and backyards were never done. I think only the top floor was furnished, and even then I don't think it was completely furnished, if I remember correctly. I pretty much only used it as reference for the outside and a bit of the upstairs layout. Yeah. Alright, so obviously it is a modern build. I'm obsessed with modern builds these days. So if the next 3 or so videos are modern builds, I apologize. It's just my current architectural obsession. Yeah. I was so happy to finally have a small landing upstairs because I never know what to do with those areas. It also wasn't incredibly weirdly shaped for once, which I'm so happy about because, as you've heard me complain about this in the past, I hate dealing with the landings. I never know what to do with them, and I never know what to do with hallways, which is why I'm such a huge fan of open spaced concepts like the downstairs area is, because I just never know what to do with those sections. But I do like how the landing turned out because it was, relatively small and it wasn't a very awkward shape. Yeah, so I sort of go back and forth between the inside and the outside for the first part of the video. As you saw, I was working on the inside and then I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna do the terrain paint, get the fences up. Yeah, so I decided to mostly start with the bathrooms because, as you may have heard me mention in the past, I am so sick of bathrooms. They always come out the same, and I'm just really, really sick of building them. But of course your houses need at least 1 bathroom, more than one if you actually want your Sims to not have to literally wait in line to get in for a pee. But yeah, anyways, I go mirror crazy in this build. Well, not necessarily mirror crazy, but I do repeat the mirror style I did in this bathroom in, I think, the other bathroom. Do I do it in the master bedroom as well? I can't remember what I do for the master bedroom. Anyways, it's just that there aren't that many lengthy two square sized whatever mirrors, and it's I find them very, very nice to use. I loved how many you had in The Sims 3. So I always use these mirrors or the full length mirrors, which they're nice, they're very useful, but they don't have a border. And I feel like a lot of what makes a mirror aesthetically pleasing is actually the border, the design in the border, or its shape. And they do have nice mirrors here, but I feel like you're missing a lot of the lengthy mirrors. There is that like 3 square one from what is it? I think the Spa Day pack or something, where it's a really nice long mirror, but once again there's no border, which yes, it's nice and it can be very aesthetically pleasing, but there's just something about bordered mirrors for me, and I've talked about this for way too long. Yeah. Alright, so as you see, I actually put curtains in the master bedroom. And surprise, surprise, I actually put curtains in every single room. Okay. I think this is actually the first time that I've done that because, well, I hate curtains, as you've heard me say, but I actually did it. I was like, this is a big modern build. There are a lot of mirrors, because not mirrors, I'm sorry, windows, because it is surrounded by water, and you want to see that, you want that view, and you want that beautiful landscape of everything around your property. So that was the idea behind the windows, but at the same time you get zero privacy. So I actually went ahead and put in curtains in every single room. I surprised myself. Yeah, so that's that. It's pretty much the last thing I do in most of the rooms because I just keep forgetting about putting the curtains in. I think the only rooms I didn't put curtains in were the bathroom because I just couldn't find any for those rooms. Like all the curtains they had that weren't excessively long, just completely cut off all of the natural lighting. But also because of the size of the windows and their height, you couldn't really see anything from them anyways. So I felt like you didn't really lose much privacy by not covering them up. Yeah. So I'm just adding a couple finishing details for the master bedroom. And I really like how it turned out. I don't know why I said master bedroom. It's the only bedroom. So, anyways. I think that's about it. Oh yeah. Wall color. Yeah, and that's about it. Actually, I think this is the first bedroom I've done in a really, really, really long time that didn't have any paintings in it. I simply didn't have any wall room left because one wall was taken over by mirrors and the others by doors or windows. So, whoops. So there we go. We have a little gym area, and a trophy case. So maybe one of the two Sims that lives here is an athlete or a bodybuilder, and they've won all these trophies from the various competitions they've been in. And it's sort of their version of an office, right? So they have all their workout equipment. And as you guys probably know, I am a huge fan of mirrors in sports rooms. Once again, I can't talk. Especially near the near yoga mats, because I just find it's very important to see yourself from multiple angles when you do yoga, so you can make sure that you're getting the pose. You're getting the pose correct. You're doing the pose correctly. There we go. That's what I'm going for. So yeah, here we go. In the music room, I actually, looking back now, I realized I did put a painting. I found a painting that I liked for this room. 4 of them actually. But I forgot that I actually wanted another trophy case for them, like I did in the bodybuilder room, because I was like, okay, well, maybe one of them's a bodybuilder, one of them's a musician, and they're both doing very, very well, which is why they could afford this house at a potentially young age. But I actually completely forgot to put any trophies in there. Whoops. But, still you have all the instruments, you have paintings on 2 of the walls, and it really fills it up with, some sort of personality. And that feature wall I find also did add something nice. Like, when I think feature wall, I think someone creative lives here. Someone creative painted this room or designed this room, or I don't know. I just think that a creative mind was at work there. So I think that just adds a lot to the aesthetic of it. And as you see, I forgot a curtain in there. Like, it's not an automatic thing for me to put a curtain, but I do end up adding one. I actually try to add two for a very nice sort of look, but it just didn't end up working. I ended up just keeping one curtain there. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, can you guys believe it? I actually did a landing without too much struggle. I was like, okay, this goes there, paintings on the wall, photographs, whatever, and a mirror, done. Yeah, and curtains everywhere. I'm so proud of myself for using curtains. It's just like a small achievement, but I'm so proud of myself for it. Yeah. Every time I record a voiceover, like, I'm not even sick, but every single time I record a voiceover, I just get a runny nose. I don't know what it is. It's like, for the rest of the day, no runny nose. None at all. But every time I record a voiceover, it happens. It's so frustrating. Yeah, so whenever I take a break from talking, it's because I'm wiping my nose. And you guys really did not need to know that, but I thought I'd share it anyways. Whoops. Yeah, so there are 2 balconies in this build, which I think is very, very cool. Balconies are so nice. Growing up, I was not necessarily upset, but I was a little, I don't think sad is the right word. I don't know what word it is I need to describe this, but I'll just go with sad. I was sad that I didn't have a balcony. There was the house right next to mine had a balcony, and I was so jealous of it. I was like, that's so cool. I wish we had one. They also had a pool, and we didn't. It was upsetting. Yeah. Anyways, here we go, working on the kitchen. I was so excited to work on the kitchen. Like, I purposely left the ground floor for, last out of 2 floors to build. Okay. Anyways, I purposely started with the top floor because I was so excited for the kitchen and I knew I was going to have so much fun with it, and I figured, save the best for last sort of thing. So I wished I'd actually ended with building the kitchen as opposed to ending with building the living room, because the living room was fine, it wasn't as fun as building a kitchen. I really enjoy building kitchens because, I don't know, I love kitchens. I love baking. So having a nice big kitchen with lots of counter space is just like a must for me. And I know that most of the counter space is taken up by a bunch of appliances in The Sims. They don't need as much counter space as you do in real life to work with. So in my thoughts was, if this was a real house, if you need the counter space, you just stick like the popcorn machine or something in a cupboard, or you put it on the island temporarily, or you work on the island. Yeah, anyways, that was my thoughts. So I'm just, adding a couple decorations, flowers everywhere, because I don't know, I love potted plants in houses. I have none in my apartment. It's actually kind of upsetting. The next time I go to Costco, I'm gonna buy like an orchid or something. It'll be fabulous. Alright, so I'm just trying to add some live-in feeling to the living room, adding books. I was looking for something specific. I think it's fan mail or something, what it's considered. And I did find it. You should use a cheat for that, the show objects, or show hidden objects cheat. I just wanted it to look like they had an actual pile of mail, whether it was bills or people writing letters. Not that anyone really does that anymore, but I just thought it made it look like a realistic house. Like, you walk into my apartment and we have a little shelving unit, and on top of it there's all the mail or all the flyers we get. I guess, it's very realistic, I find. Yeah, so I just added a couple paintings here and there, and yeah, made sure it looked very nice, and yeah. Yeah, I thought here that a fence might look nice. The really, really, tiny ones that came with, oh, what was it? Get to Work, I think, or maybe that's not the name of it, the equivalent for Sims 4. Just to match the gray without that little line of pale gray between the foundation and the floor of the deck, of the front deck, but in the end I didn't like the look of it, so I just kept it as is. Yeah. So a very organized garden patch all around the house, with a couple of rocks. I don't use rocks enough in my flower patches. They just add something that's so aesthetically pleasing, I find. But I don't use them enough. It's a great way when you don't know what plants to use, or you don't have a specific color scheme, and it's just a good way to fill up the space and have it look nice without using the same plants over and over again, or having a mess of a bunch of different plants that just don't fit together, I find. Yeah. So of course they have a pool, because what house of mine doesn't have a pool? I'm living vicariously through my Sims. I really am. Like, the pool, the exercise room. I would love to have a treadmill in my apartment. Not that there's any room for it, but I would love to have one. I say that, and I'm like, hey, maybe if I had a treadmill, I'd actually work out, because I wouldn't have to leave the apartment. And maybe I would, once every 2 months or something, but realistically, I probably wouldn't use it, but it's still a cool thought in my head to have one. Yeah. So, as you see, I originally thought to have the same terrain paint in the front and the back, but I really did not like how it looked with the pool trimmings. With the pool trim. There we go. So I ended up putting actual flooring in, and it looked a lot better together. And you don't really see the terrain paint from the in the front from the back, and vice versa. So I thought it was fine this way. It still looked very nice. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll match it with the deck, and I was like, nope, I don't like it. Yeah. So there we go. Little nice patch of grass. I actually leave it empty. I don't put anything there. I don't put plants. I don't know. I didn't feel like it needed anything there, and if it did need something, it wasn't something I had. Like a fountain might have been nice, but the fence opens up there, so having a fountain there would be very useless. So as you may have noticed in the beginning of the video, I deleted the roof. I don't know why I did that, and I didn't remember doing it, so when I was looking at the house, I was like, why is there no roof? Anyways, added it, all done. Here are the screenshots. As always, the house is available to download. Link is in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this build, and give it a thumbs up if you did. Check out my other videos, and check out my other channel. There's a link to that on... If you go on my channel here, you'll find a link to my other channel there. Yes. Anyways, have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.